What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the Bitcoin bull TBB. It is the 24th day of July. Here we are sitting at about 1.85 cents with roughly 11 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. And let's get into it, okay? Here we are. Here we are consolidating still, and I've got these white lines drawn on here because who doesn't like a nice white line? No, that's not why. It's because this, I think, illustrates properly what we're seeing in the charts, which is prior support, prior resistance becoming support, prior resistance becoming support, prior resistance becoming support, and that, structurally speaking, is a very bullish thing. It's actually a very, very bullish thing, you guys. Um, it shows demand in the right places, right? That's what it is. And these tight consolidation phases, if you notice here, right here, right there, that's where the volume is at its lowest point. Right here, this is where the volume's at its lowest point. Those are moments right before the price starts to move up when we're done with this consolidation phase. I'm bringing that up because now volume seems to be at a pretty low point here on this 4-hour time frame. So I think that we're going to see some movement today to the upside. The reason why volume is important is because it tells us when the bet has been made, so to speak. Okay. Volume's at its low point here because everybody who wanted to buy or sell within this range, they did so already. So there's less volume. Nobody's going to sell here who didn't already sell before. Nobody's going to buy here who didn't already buy before. Supply dries up, demand kicks in, we move up. Same concept here, same concept here. Now, we could break out to the downside. That could happen, and if we break out to the downside, we'll go over those possibilities as well. But I think what's happening here is just the same thing that's happened before here, before here, before here. I mean, we didn't go over this range, but the volume was at a low point here, and then it starts to build as we're moving up. It's that the weak hands have gotten shaken out, the strong hands have stepped in. There were a lot, man. I talked about this yesterday on Coin Vault with Rob Mass, Ruel Black, Crux, and Maximus Crypto. Shout out to all of you guys. Talked about how here there were a lot of, when I say a lot, I mean like dozens of large accounts, larger than mine, that became aware of this project here. And they either took their bets on this or they didn't, but they at least have seen the growth continue. Maybe they wanted nothing to do with it. They're just, supporting their buddy Jason Williams. Maybe they wanted something to do with it, but they didn't pull the trigger. Now they've had multiple opportunities where you've pulled back 30% here, you pulled back 30% there, you pulled back 30% here, you pulled back 30% once, twice, 3 times here. You've had ample opportunities and pullbacks to buy in. And then, of course, the grand statement itself is that we're only at $18.5 million. There's been opportunities on the pullbacks for these larger accounts to get in if they want to roll the dice, right? If they want to have some fun. For smaller accounts to get in if they want to roll the dice, if they want to have some fun, if they want to be a part of this. It's less of a dice roll. And maybe I should stop saying that because it's not really a dice roll. We know where this thing's going. I said this yesterday. If it's a dice roll, it's loaded dice because we know where this thing's gonna go, man. Hold on. I've got this like dry cough. I don't know what it is, man, but it's annoying. It's annoying and it's painful. Volume's drying up. The bet has been made. This consolidation phase looks the same as these consolidation phases here. It can last longer. We're going into the weekend. It's Friday now. It can last longer. Maybe it goes into Saturday, Sunday. Right? Let's see. Hold on. That was the 17th. That was Friday. Actually, we moved up over the weekend here. Yeah, 18th, 17th. So at the end of the day on the 17th, and then going into the 18th Saturday. So I mean, maybe we have another bullish weekend. That'd be great. Did we do it again over here? Let's see. Hold on. 11th. The 11th was a Saturday also. Wow. Okay. Hold on now. Hold on. Let me. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. I'm gonna take this away. The 4th was a Saturday. Well, the 4th was bullish, but this was kind of a whole bullish time. The 11th was a Saturday, and this was the 11th right here, that move up. The 18th was a Saturday, and we moved up there. And the 25th will be a Saturday. Will we move up here? It's kind of interesting. Our Saturdays are days. You know, the thing is with Bitcoin, you typically don't see extreme moves over the weekend, but this isn't Bitcoin. You can see, I mean, this is a meme coin market. Meme coin market's 24/7. It doesn't matter if the stock market's open or not, right? This didn't dump with the stock market. This doesn't pump with the stock market. It does its own thing. But all I'm trying to say here, guys, is I think that we're about to see a move. My expectation is from this consolidation range. My expectation is that we're going to move up. Okay, we're seeing these wicks, these big wicks here to the downside, not so much to the upside. Sure, the last couple of 4-hour candles have had some wicks to the upside, but the difference here being that when we wick to the downside here, we keep moving up. We keep moving up. We were wicking to the upside on these last couple of 4-hour candles, and we're still moving up. Okay, like here, you had a wick here, but you kept moving up. That was bullish. I think we're about to break out. I think today's the day. We're probably going to see new all-time highs today. And if not today, within the next 24 hours. I feel very safe in that. I mean, just based off of prior examples here. We look at this on the daily time frame. No. Maybe not the daily. Let's look at it on the 12-hour. 12-hour time frame. We're actually getting a daily chart now, guys, because it's been around long enough. We're actually starting to get some data to come in. It's awesome. High to low. With this consolidation, what do I know? I'm not the most experted person on fibs, but I've been doing technical analysis since 2015. The Fibonacci retracement tool is my bread and butter to my analysis. This is something that I've become very familiar with. And in my experience, when you find resistance at a level, you either do or you don't. And we've been here now for at least a few days, a couple days, consolidating like this. This is not representative, in my opinion, of a rejection point. It could be. Maybe we do break down and maybe we find support at a lower level, and that's fine if we do. It's totally fine if we do. Maybe we break down and we don't even go to another fib level to find support, right? Like here from a high to a low, you broke down, but you didn't find support or resistance at a fib and you still moved up. Maybe it's something lesser, whatever. But the point being here, to me, it seems like we would at least continue to the next level, which the next level, you guys, is 50 cents. Sorry, $50 million. I don't even know if that's the right fib to take. Technically, you would want to take this one here, right? Wouldn't it be that one? Yeah, and that's no. There was a drop. We're missing it here on this chart. Let's see. It was this drop. This was the actual low from the high. That puts it at 51. It's a slight difference, but it's a difference nonetheless. $50.1 million market cap, 5.1 cents. That's the next target. And like we did here, you know, maybe we consolidate in the midst of this range. Maybe we move up and then we consolidate here, find support at prior resistance, and then we move up, do the same thing. Maybe it takes some time and we're just still moving up in this kind of range, this formation. But even at this rate, we would be at this level by the second day of August, which is about a week away, guys. Right, 24th, we've got 31 days in this month. That's about 9 days. It's less than 10 days away that we'd be at a $51 million market cap, which would be crazy. It'd be absolutely crazy. 9 days. Can you hold for 9 days or less and see from the current price 170% growth? Does that sound good to you? Right? Can you hold for longer than that and see this 2618 come into view, this 6.7x? Non-financial advice, not a financial advisor. And at that point, guys, whenever we get to this, there's a few things that go through my head. Okay? First and foremost, there are a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but there are some people who bought down here, like myself, and haven't sold. There are some people who bought down here who haven't sold, right? There may and likely will be some profit taking at these levels, okay? But the other thought here is at this point you're at you're at an over $100 million market cap. The idea that you could go to $1 billion is actually there in people's minds now. People will see how hard Jason's working, how much belief there is in this community, and how hard the community's working too. And all the connections, all the networking, all the different shenanigans that are going on the different fun things that are going on. Jason, by the way, actually said that there's an announcement today. You know what? Somebody, man, I'm getting distracted here, but we're going to come back to what I was just saying. I'll be able to remember where we were. But let's see. Where is it? Also, in the spirit of Alchemist hosted a space last night. I wasn't able to listen, but check it out. Bros helping bros. I don't know if he's just mocking this guy or if he's just trying to be nice. Maybe he feels bad for him. This is kind of lame what he did, but whatever. You know, the thing is, though, nobody's saying about Alchemist, about Evil Ape, he didn't have to tell people that he sold. Maybe he did, because I'm sure Jason has his wallet docs, so he has to do it. You know, he's put in a situation where he can't just be quiet about it anyways. But I don't know. He didn't have to make a post about it, to be fair. He didn't have to. But he did. Where is this? Was told not to say anything yet, but something's coming tomorrow. That's all I've got for now. And now you look at that, okay? You look at that. That was 11 hours ago. He hasn't posted about it yet, okay? Somebody already connected these dots. I'm not taking credit for this. I forget who it was. Maybe if we looked at Jason's post, you could find it, but let's just see. Was told not to say anything yet, but something's coming tomorrow. That's all I've got for now. It's like the same thing. Now, either Jason is being funny, because he is funny. Sometimes he does. I don't know what's going on here with this. There we go. With X. Sometimes he just repeats things just to be silly. There probably is something going on. Or is this his way and Gemini's way of saying that there might be a listing for TBB on Gemini? That would be wild. That'd be wild. One of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, you guys, listing TBB. That'd be wild, and that adds some legitimacy, and then that makes it easier too for people in the who aren't aware, who aren't as knowledgeable whenever it comes to swaps on wallets or using dexes, going outside of centralized exchanges to buy something. It opens up the gates. You know, a lot of people have, if not a Gemini account, they have the accessibility to get a Gemini account. I don't know. That would be interesting. And this was 11 hours ago, so there's going to be a post about it today, I would assume. Even if it's not connected to Gemini, even if it's something else, I would imagine he's got something that he's going to say. Shout out to Wendy O, by the way, for talking about TBB as well, giving a shout out to TBB. And shout out to Jason Williams for donating to a charity, donating some funds to the charity as well, whatever the charity was called. She talks about it there. Enough of that, though. Let's get back to work. I told you that I'd remember where we were. What I was leaving off at and what I got distracted with was that the thought here is that once we get to $100 million market cap, and by the way, we probably don't stop at $100 million. We'll stop at like 120, 125. That is the fib level. You could stop anywhere. Sure, you could stop anywhere below. You could stop anywhere above. Anything can happen. You know, nothing wrong with that. But we've been guided by these fibs pretty well so far. I don't need to go through and give you examples. I mean, you could probably see it for yourself. Just with this, from a high to a low, you can literally see all these levels being regarded. Literally golden ratio finding resistance, golden ratio finding support and resistance, 1272 support resistance. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I would very much expect that we find resistance somewhere around this red line whenever we get there. The thought here is the legitimacy that the market cap of over $100 million brings. And at this rate, you guys, shout out to rug pulls. At this rate, if we see some growth in a short amount of time, TBB will be like, I mean, imagine we're at $120 million market cap. TBB is hot on Ansom's tail. And we've got the better narrative. We've got the better community. We've got the better figurehead backing this. I mean, this thing really does stand to flip. I thought that Ansom would be at new all-time highs by the time we flipped it. But maybe we do flip it before it gets to new all-time highs. I still think Ansom will grow. I think this chart looks bullish. You're actually, what you're doing here, you actually are finding support at prior resistance and getting a double bottom all at once. You're kind of rounding out your lows here. It looks like accumulation. It's not a problem. I do think that it's going to move up, but if we're still chilling in this range and TBB gains some ground over the coming weeks or week, I mean, it's possible that we flip this thing or get close to flipping this thing. The main point being, regardless of Ansem, what Ansem's doing, is that when we get to that $100 million market cap, any of these large accounts who haven't pulled the trigger yet, or who have pulled the trigger but they're just not talking about it as passionately as some of us are, they're going to feel more passionate. They're going to feel more vindicated. They're going to feel more validated. People who've talked smack about this coin, they're going to feel proven wrong. People are going to look at this in a different light. Oh, this isn't just a random meme coin that's going to rug pull within a week. It's not. I mean, obviously, at this point, I think we've done enough. It's been around enough. The community's grown enough organically to prove that. But time will tell. Time will tell. At the end of the day, all I'm trying to say, this is a long video, and just saying that the next target areas to focus on really are 5.1 cents and 12.5 cents. And with the vindication, the validation, the confirmation that comes with these levels being achieved, the community growing all the while, it is possible that we don't stop at these areas for long and that we could continue higher. I mean, we could see, this is colored in green for a reason. It's the money zone, okay? Sometimes in very, very powerful moves, you do tip the 286 and the 3113 levels. Sometimes you do. It's not the common thing. Typically, I expect that you find resistance in this 1618, 1272 area, which we did. We found resistance here. We consolidated here for a while. Then I expect that you go to the 1886, 2618 level and you consolidate there whenever you find resistance. We're entering that level now. But sometimes you push through it. Sometimes you do push through it and you go here. It is possible that our eyes are not set on something high enough, and that 250 million to 450 million might be a more appropriate target area before we see any kind of substantial consolidation. What I mean by substantial consolidation is more than what we've seen so far, okay? I don't mean percentage wise. I don't think we're going to, it could be a 30% drop, it could be a 60% drop, it could be more, it could be less. I just mean time wise, like Ansem here, right? Ansem went through, this is pretty considerable consolidation. And this, from a high to a low, was more than 50%, right? That was a 66% drop. It's intense, but to be fair, you saw intense growth, right? Very, very intense growth. With this kind of intense growth and without having any kind of real consolidation phase, you get deeper pullbacks. Maybe because we're stair-stepping along the way, we won't see something as intense to the downside, but still something that lasts long like this, right? And what I'm talking about by a significant consolidation phase, I would think that we see something that lasts more than just a couple days once we achieve these levels here. But you never know. You never know, man. Things can go crazy. And just because this is the money zone, just because this is what I would accept as a physical limitation, doesn't mean that can't be broken. I just don't know if from here, come August, we're going to be at $1 billion. I don't know if I believe that. I believe it's possible. I wouldn't bet against it, but I wouldn't bet on it. I would bet more so that sometime in August, if not earlier, we're at 5.1 cents to 12.5 cents. And August, this will probably more likely happen in August. This could happen in August too, or maybe some later time as well. But I've got nothing else. I'm running out of steam. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.